Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Sometimes a man can love you with every inch of his heart, and you won't even know it. He'll stand right beside you, talk to you every day, care about you in ways you don't even notice, but never once say, "I love you." And you'll sit there thinking, maybe he doesn't care. Oh, but baby, he does. He just hides it well. Some men love deeply, but fear vulnerability. That right there is one of the greatest mysteries in the world of love. You see, when a man truly loves a woman, it's not just a feeling, it's a full experience that shakes up his entire world. But for many men, showing that love out loud feels like stepping into dangerous territory. From the time they were little boys, they were told not to cry, not to be soft, not to show weakness. So they grow up learning to wear armor around their hearts, even when they find someone who makes them want to take it off. Love exposes a man, and exposure makes him feel vulnerable. And for a man, vulnerability feels like standing unguarded in front of the whole world, hoping no one takes advantage of that open heart. When a man falls in love, it can feel like losing control. He's used to being in charge of his emotions, his world, his direction. But love doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up and starts rearranging things. He starts thinking about her more than he plans to. He starts caring more than he intended. And that scares him because suddenly he's no longer the one in full control. So what does he do? He hides it. He keeps his words short, his emotions tucked in, pretending he's cool and calm when inside he's a storm of feelings. He'll tell himself, "Let me not get too deep. Let me not look too attached." But deep down, he already is. A man who fears vulnerability isn't cold-hearted. He's protecting something. Maybe he's been hurt before. Maybe the last time he opened his heart, it got broken in ways he still doesn't talk about. So when love comes knocking again, he's cautious. He'll love you quietly from a distance until he's sure it's safe. That's why he might not say, "I love you," but he'll drive across town just to see you smile. He might not hold your hand in public, but he'll make sure you get home safe every single time. His love doesn't come with grand gestures. It comes in the quiet consistency of someone who cares more than he dares to admit. You see, vulnerability feels like weakness to a man who's been told his whole life to be strong. But the truth is, vulnerability isn't weakness. It's courage. It takes a strong man to let someone see his soul. It takes a confident man to admit, "You matter to me." But not every man has reached that level of emotional maturity. Some are still learning how to love without feeling like they're losing themselves. So instead of saying it, they show it. Instead of confessing it, they live it. They hide behind jokes, behind business, behind excuses. But pay attention, because even the toughest man will slip sometimes. He'll look at you a second too long. His voice will soften when he says your name, or he'll remember something you said weeks ago. Those are the cracks where love leaks out, even when he's trying to keep it contained. Men hide love not because they don't feel it, but because they feel it too deeply. And that depth scares them. It challenges everything they've been taught about being strong, independent, and in control. But when a man finally realizes that love doesn't take away his strength, it adds to it, that's when he stops hiding. That's when he learns that vulnerability isn't losing power, it's gaining peace, because loving openly, despite the fear, is the bravest thing a man can ever do. His actions often reveal what his words don't. You see, a man may not always say what he feels, but he'll show it in ways that speak louder than any "I love you" ever could. Love, for a lot of men, isn't about flowery speeches or grand emotional confessions. It's about what they do. A man who truly loves you may not say it every day, but you'll feel it in the way he moves, the way he listens, the way he pays attention to things that matter to you. Words can be easy, but actions require effort. And when a man puts in effort, that's where the truth hides. When he loves you, he notices the small things. He remembers how you like your coffee, the little stories you told him weeks ago, or the things that make you smile when you're having a rough day. He might not say, "I miss you," but he'll show up when you least expect it. He might not say, "I care," but he'll make sure you're safe. He'll check in without being asked, and he'll quietly make sure your world runs smoother. That's a man speaking through his actions. Some men struggle to express emotions verbally because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing, or they've never learned how to communicate love out loud. But that doesn't mean the feeling isn't real. It just means they speak a different language, the language of doing. See, love shows up in the consistency of someone who keeps showing up. Maybe he doesn't write you poems or make big declarations, but he's there when you need him every single time. When you're sick, he brings you soup. When you're stressed, he finds a way to make you laugh. When you're quiet, he gives you space but never disappears. That's love in its purest, quietest form. Real men understand that words without actions are empty, but actions without words, they're full of meaning. That's why sometimes the most loving thing a man can do is simply be there. A man's actions tell stories, his mouth won't. You can see it in how he looks at you when you're not looking. There's something soft in his eyes, something protective, something honest. When a man loves you, he pays attention not just to your beauty, but to your peace. He notices when something's off, even when you say, "I'm fine." He can tell when you're tired, when you're hurting, when you're holding back tears, and he'll do whatever he can, big or small, to make it better. He might tease you to make you laugh or silently hold your hand just to let you know you're not alone. Those are the little actions that say everything his lips can't. Now, don't misunderstand. Some women get frustrated because they want the words, and that's fair. But understand that a man's silence doesn't always mean he doesn't feel. It can mean he's afraid his words won't measure up to the depth of what he feels. So instead, he lets his behavior do the talking. The way he treats you, the way he respects you, the way he protects you, those are love letters written in motion. When you start looking past the surface, you'll realize that love doesn't always sound like a song. It often looks like a steady rhythm built from trust, effort, and presence. So when he doesn't say it, watch what he does, because love that's shown through actions is often more honest than love spoken through words. A man who loves you will prove it every day, not because he has to, but because he wants to. His love may not be loud, but it's real, and it's written in the little things he does when no one's watching. Pride and fear of rejection make him hold back. That's one of the hardest truths about love, especially when it comes to men. A man's pride is often his armor. It's the thing that keeps him feeling safe in a world that expects him to be strong, confident, and unshakable. But that same pride can become a wall that blocks him from saying what's really in his heart. You see, no matter how tough a man looks on the outside, the fear of rejection can cut him deeper than anyone realizes. Love to a man is a risk. It's putting his heart on the line, and for someone who's been taught to avoid looking weak, that risk feels terrifying. When a man starts to care about someone deeply, his mind begins to play defense before his heart even gets a chance to speak. He thinks, what if she doesn't feel the same? What if I scare her away? What if I'm not enough? Those questions don't just sit in his head, they haunt him. And instead of stepping forward and confessing his feelings, he steps back. He tells himself it's better to keep quiet, to stay in control, to protect his pride rather than risk getting hurt. It's not that he doesn't want to love, it's that he doesn't want to lose himself trying. You'll see it in the way he hesitates before sending that text or how he acts cool when he sees you. Even though his heart is pounding, you'll notice he finds excuses to talk to you, yet never crosses that invisible line. That's pride wrestling with vulnerability. That's fear hiding behind confidence. He wants you to know, but he doesn't want to say it first. He wants to be close, but he's scared you'll pull away. So he hides behind silence, hoping you'll somehow feel what he's too afraid to admit. For many men, rejection isn't just about losing love, it's about losing respect. A man's ego is built around how he's perceived, and to open up and be turned down feels like being stripped of that. So he guards his pride like a shield. Even if his heart is aching to reach out, his pride whispers, "Don't you dare look desperate." And so he pulls back, convincing himself it's better to seem uninterested than to risk looking like a fool for love. But the truth is, love requires courage. It takes bravery to be honest about your feelings, even when there's a chance you might not hear what you want. Some men are also haunted by past rejection. Maybe the last time he opened up, someone laughed at his honesty, took advantage of his affection, or left him when he was most vulnerable. That memory lingers, and now every time he feels love again, that old fear rises up. He hides behind sarcasm, humor, or indifference because those masks feel safer than being real. But the sad thing is, by protecting his pride, he often ends up protecting himself from happiness too. And yet, you can always tell when love is trapped behind fear. His eyes give it away. His body language, the softness in his tone, the way he listens when you speak. It's all there, even when his pride won't let him admit it. Deep down, every man wants to be loved without losing his dignity. He just needs to believe that showing love won't cost him his strength. The right woman, the patient one, the one who sees beyond the wall, she can help him lower that guard. Because when love feels safe, pride doesn't need to lead. And when fear fades, he'll finally let his heart speak the words he's been hiding all along. He shows love through consistency, not confession. You see, real love isn't always loud. It doesn't always come dressed in poetic words or grand gestures. Sometimes it shows up quietly in the way a man keeps showing up for you day after day. A lot of men are not great with words. They struggle to express what they feel because they've been taught that emotions make them look weak. But when a man truly loves you, his love becomes a routine. It's in his habits, his presence, his reliability. He doesn't need to say it every day because he's already proving it through the way he lives and moves around you. Consistency is his language of love. When a man loves you, he'll make you part of his life's rhythm. He'll remember to call you back. He'll ask if you made it home safe. He'll check in even when he's busy. He'll make time for you not because it's convenient, but because it matters to him. He doesn't vanish when things get hard. He stays. That's how you know his heart is in it. He's not just there for the good moments. He's steady through the storms too. That's what separates a man who's serious from one who's just passing time. Because a man who's playing with you can be charming one day and gone the next, but a man who loves you consistently will make sure you never have to question where you stand. Consistency is how a man builds trust without saying a word. He doesn't need to promise you forever. He shows it every day in the little things. The way he answers your calls, the way he shows up when you need him, the way he keeps his word even when it's inconvenient, those are quiet love notes written in action. When he's consistent, it means he's intentional. It means he's not there to impress you for a moment. He's there to invest in you for the long run. His love doesn't come in waves. It's steady like a heartbeat, and that steadiness brings peace. See, some people mistake passion for love. They think love is supposed to be fireworks all the time, loud, dramatic, unpredictable. But true love, especially from a man who's matured through life's lessons, is calm. It's in the daily effort, the reliability, the small ways he makes your world easier. He'll do things without needing recognition because his goal isn't to prove himself. It's to care for you. That's how a man shows love through consistency. When he says he'll do something, he does it. When he tells you he's got you, he means it. He doesn't need to keep repeating it because his actions have already spoken for him. Sometimes women get frustrated because they crave the words, the I love yous, and romantic speeches. And that's understandable, but you have to understand that some men express love differently. For him, showing up is his way of saying, I love you. It's in the way he prioritizes you, protects you, and stays loyal when no one's watching. His love is not built on temporary emotion. It's built on commitment. And commitment isn't loud, it's consistent. When a man's love doesn't waver, when his presence doesn't depend on the situation, that's when you know his love is real, because consistency, that's not just a habit, that's devotion in its purest form. When a man hides his love, it's often because it's real. That might sound strange at first, but think about it. People don't hide things that don't matter. They hide what they're afraid to lose, what means something too deep to risk. When a man feels something real, something pure, he knows it has the power to change his world. And that kind of love can be intimidating. It's not a game, it's not a passing crush. It's something that touches him on a level he can't easily explain. So instead of rushing in, he steps back. Instead of shouting his feelings from the rooftops, he guards them because that love is precious to him and he wants to make sure it's safe. You see, when a man is just playing around, he has no problem showing off his affection. He'll flirt loudly, make promises he doesn't mean, say all the right words just to get attention. But when a man truly loves, everything changes. He becomes careful. He starts thinking about what every word means, what every action might imply. He's not hiding because he doesn't care. He's hiding because he does. Deeply, he knows real love comes with responsibility, vulnerability, and sometimes pain, and he's not sure yet if he's ready to expose that part of himself. For a man, real love feels different. It's not just attraction or comfort. It's connection. It's wanting to protect her, wanting to see her happy, wanting to be someone she can count on. But those feelings come with pressure because love that's real demands honesty and consistency. It forces him to face emotions he can't control. It makes him see parts of himself he might not have dealt with before, his insecurities, his fears, his weaknesses. So instead of facing them right away, he keeps his love tucked away where it feels safe. He'll show little hints here and there, but he won't fully open up until he's sure it's right. Sometimes he hides it because he doesn't believe he's good enough yet. Maybe he wants to have his life in order before committing his heart. Maybe he wants to be able to provide, to lead, to protect the way he believes a man should. So he waits, he works, he watches. You might see him act distant, confused, or hard to read, but behind that calm surface is a man who's trying to do the right thing by his own standards. He's not afraid of love itself. He's afraid of not being ready for it. That's what makes real love so powerful. It humbles even the strongest man. And there's another truth. When love is real, it exposes him. It gives you the power to hurt him, to walk away, to reject him. That's a risk not every man is ready to take, so he hides it behind jokes, behind friendship, behind small gestures that mean more than he'll admit. But if you pay attention, you'll see it. You'll see it in the way he looks at you when you're not looking, in how his energy changes when you're near, in how he remembers the things that matter to you. That's how real love hides. It's quiet but present, hidden but powerful. A man hiding his love isn't weakness, it's protection. He's protecting something sacred until he feels it's safe to reveal. And when he finally does, when he lets that guard down, you'll understand why he hid it for so long. Because to him, love wasn't just another feeling. It was something worth guarding, something worth waiting for, and something too real to take lightly. The right woman can make him feel safe enough to show it. Every man, no matter how strong or confident he appears, has a side that's afraid to be vulnerable. He may stand tall, speak boldly, and seem unshakable to the world, but deep down he carries scars, memories of times he opened up and got hurt, times his honesty was misunderstood or his love wasn't valued. So he learns to keep his heart locked away. But then one day, the right woman comes along, the kind who doesn't demand, doesn't rush, doesn't try to force him to open up. She just is. She listens, she understands, and she brings a calm that makes him feel something he hasn't felt in a long time, safe. When a man meets a woman who makes him feel safe, his walls start to come down on their own. He doesn't even notice it at first. He finds himself telling her things he never told anyone. He feels comfortable being quiet around her, knowing she doesn't mistake his silence for disinterest. She sees through the layers, the pride, the hesitation, the defense, and recognizes the man underneath. And that kind of understanding does something powerful to a man's spirit. It tells him you don't have to perform here. You can just be yourself. That's when his love starts to show, not because she pulled it out of him, but because she made the space for it to grow freely. A man doesn't reveal his heart easily, but when he feels emotionally safe, he'll start showing sides of himself that even his friends haven't seen. He'll be gentler, more open, more expressive. He'll start letting his guard down, testing the waters with small confessions, a story from his past, a moment of vulnerability, a fear he's never spoken aloud, and when she doesn't judge him for it, when she responds with empathy instead of criticism, something inside him shifts. He starts to realize that love doesn't have to be dangerous. It can be healing. The right woman doesn't try to fix him. She respects his pace. She doesn't chase validation because she knows patience is the real key to unlocking a man's heart. She gives him the freedom to come forward on his own. And in that freedom, he finds the courage to love her more openly. When a man feels safe, he starts to express his affection without fear of rejection. He starts to show consistency, care, and protection in ways that feel natural to him. He starts communicating not just through actions, but also through words, because he trusts that his feelings are safe in her hands. You see, men hide love when they fear it won't be accepted, or worse, when they think it'll be taken for granted. But with the right woman, love doesn't feel like a risk. It feels like a reward. She becomes his peace, not his pressure. Her presence teaches him that it's okay to feel, to love, to admit he cares without losing his strength. And that's when he transforms from guarded to open, from distant to devoted. Because love, when met with safety and respect, turns fear into confidence and hesitation into honesty. The right woman doesn't just make him love her, she makes him feel brave enough to love her out loud.